Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for iOS today is provided by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com.
If your parents are confused about tech, we have ways to help you help them.
And I'm going to show you a new game that's based on lemmings. I've been wanting this for a long time.
And how to protect the little ones while they're on YouTube.
Uh-oh. It's time for iOS Today. iOS Today is brought to you by Eero. Never think about Wi-Fi again with Eero's hyper-fast, super simple Wi-Fi system. And now the second generation Eero is tri-band and twice as fast. For free overnight shipping, visit Eero.com, select overnight shipping at checkout, and enter the code iOS Today. And by Rocket Mortgage from Quicken Loans. Home plays a big role in your life. That's why Quicken Loans created Rocket Mortgage. It lets you apply simply and understand the entire mortgage process fully so you can be confident you're getting the right mortgage for you. Get started at rocketmortgage.com/iOS Today. La 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 la. Well, hello, everybody. iOS Today is on the air despite the fires in Northern California. Just a reassurance, we're fine, we're safe. We're about 13 miles away from the nearest wildfire, although many of our employees were affected by it. Our technical director for the show, Kevin, was evacuated. He lives in one of the areas that they were worried about. His home is okay. So thank you for your thoughts and prayers. And of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to more victims of yet another. Mother Nature seems angry this year.
I know, it is scary. It comes on fast, and you don't know. My whole family packed a bag last night just in case. I couldn't bring myself to. I couldn't.
Yeah, we didn't pack a bag, but Lisa and I kind of both thought about, okay, what would we want to save if we had to evacuate, and you know, how would we get it out in time? And so we did actually. Isn't that a scary thing to have to think about, though?
Yeah, and I learned a lot about myself where I just couldn't.
What would you save?
I couldn't think about it. It was like my wedding pictures. I don't know, my iPad.
No, see, of course, pets were the first thing. We have
obviously,
3 cats.
Family, dog, the dog and the snake who don't even know. We have a dog and a snake, and they don't even know that they live in the same house.
Yeah,
so
that's going to be an interesting ride.
Well, they both have
How big
cages.
is the snake?
When stretched out, she's about that long.
Oh, you know.
She fits twice around my neck. A ball python.
Why would you put her around your neck?
She's friendly. She's very friendly. Do you want to see a video of her being a mouse?
No.
Okay. We've gotten way off track already.
So, no, I wanted to mention, though, the fires, because I know people are worried about us. And thank you. So many tweets and messages were fine. And no, but still, it's a terrible thing. And we are in Sonoma County. We're in the wine country, so it is very smoky here, and ash is falling from the sky, and it's a scary thing.
Mm-hmm. But we're not talking about that. We're going to talk about how to help your parents with tech. And we know your parents are probably all different ages. Your parents might be 40. They might be 50. They might be 60,
younger
70.
than me.
They might
Most
be younger
of them
than
are.
me. They might be younger than me.
But we're talking older parents.
Yes. Yeah, older. I mean, chances are you probably know a little more than your parents, no matter what age they are, I would say.
Actually, we had somebody in here yesterday, I think, who had me say hi to his dad, Carl. Carl is the guy who gets them iPhones, who gets them set up, who gets them configured. So I really don't want to make any assumptions about technical literacy or so forth. So what we really should say is, this is for those of you who have older parents who aren't very technical. You are, presumably, because you watch this show, and the things that you can use your iOS devices for to help them kind of be part of the world, especially, as in my case, where grandma's, on the other side of the country. She wants to see pictures of the grandkids. She wants to know how we're doing in case of fires and things like that. That's what we're talking about.
But I mean, I even think that I'm pretty technical, and sometimes my kids know more than I do. So
this could be your kids helping you.
Yeah. Just keeping an open mind, no matter, I think you can learn something from anyone.
We should call my mom.
Yes.
Because,
let's call your mom. I love your mom so much.
Hey, she's a hoot. But she lives in Rhode Island, so thousands of miles away. But I have used tech in a variety of ways to keep her connected, to keep her set up. And it's actually worked out really well. One of the things she loves to do, and we don't do phone calls, we do FaceTime. So I'm going to FaceTime her right now. Hi, Mom.
Hey, sweetie. How are you?
My mom, Mary. Say hi to Megan and the gang on iOS today.
Megan, I'm happy to say hi.
Hi, Mary.
Do you know Megan? Let me point the camera at Megan so you can...
I know what Megan looks like.
Have you never met?
I don't know if we've met in person.
I met her years ago.
Yeah.
Like 18
When
minutes.
she was having a baby.
Oh, my gosh,
yes.
when Annabella was...
14 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Years
So
ago.
on our show today, Mom, we're doing what kinds of technologies you can help your elders with, your parents especially with, to get them set
since
up.
I'm going to be 85, that's a good question.
Yeah. Well, you're using an iPad right now.
Of course. I'm at my iPad Pro
Yeah.
that you gave to me.
Yeah.
And can you see me now? Am I looking in the right way?
Yeah,
please?
yeah. You're looking at the camera. That's good. I had it before the show. I said, now, Mom, look at the camera. I'm not looking at you. I apologize because I'm looking at the other cameras. So forgive me.
You know what? I'm a good person to interview because you have consistently given me every single device as it comes up.
What's your favorite?
My favorite is the iPad Pro.
Yeah. You draw on it? Do you have a pencil and all that stuff?
Yes, and it only varies according to my energy and my talent anymore. But I have been an artist, so that you gave me the pencil, and Procreate is a fabulous program. I'm not quite up to learning all of it because I'm not quite up to anything. But no, it's me. It's not the Pro. So,
and you have the 12.9-inch one. You have the big one.
The big one.
Yeah.
But you got up in the middle of the night to get me.
That's right. I got up right at 12:01 Pacific time.
Honey, I don't miss this. I get everything.
Let me ask you, because I asked you yesterday when we talked, I said, would you like a new iPhone? Would you like the new iPhone? And you said no.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been thinking about that. The reason is I use that port. And I'm really mad that it's not going to be on the new ones.
She uses the headphone jack.
Headphone jack.
In fact, usually when we talk, you're wearing headphones because it makes it easier for you to hear me when I'm talking to you, right?
Well, I now have on the hearing aids that you just gave me.
Oh, now this is interesting. Yeah, both Mom and I wear hearing aids, and when we visited last time, I said, "Here, borrow my hearing aids and try them," and you liked them, right?
And I love them. Now, I must forewarn people who are thinking of getting them that they are going to have to understand that something has to happen called pairing them with the phone, with the Pro. You have to pair your hearing aids with those devices.
Yeah, this is in accessibility. The hearing aids Mom and I wear from Starkey. They're called Halos, but there's some other companies that make what you want is an MFI or made for iPhone hearing aid. And once it's paired, you're hearing me in your hearing aids, right?
Yes, I don't have any headphones on.
You can hear me really well because I'm coming through the hearing aids.
Absolutely. Now, I have to say that I went to a place that had Oticons.
Oticons are also iPhone.
And they're like yours.
Yeah. So yeah, there are a few companies that make these now. Look for MFI though, because that means when you answer a phone call, you can do that too, right?
I would be able to, except I have a Cox cable right now, and I'm having trouble.
Yeah, oh, by the way, this is another tip. When I talked to Mom, I did this yesterday. I would say, okay, well, what you need to do is you need to call Cox and tell him this and this. And she said, could you please write this down? So when we have conversations, as I'm on the phone with her, I'll have text messaging open and I'll write down the things so you don't have to write them down, right? So I said, here's what you tell Cox. Tell Cox your connectivity is spotty. You have a new Eero router. by the way, another nice thing that she has, one of our sponsors, that didn't help much. And you're wondering if you can get a new DOCSIS 3, and I spelt that out, DOC-SYS3 cable modem put in. So now she knows what to tell them. And I said, they're going to say something, some gobbledygook back to you, and you say, I don't know. This is just what my son told me to say. And then another question you had is, why is my cell phone not working? I said, turn on Wi-Fi calling, because you do have good Wi-Fi. Go into your iPhone and turn on Wi-Fi calling.
You just froze. I think it's me.
It's that spotty connectivity. It's all right.
Yeah. I'm going to tell them. I'm calling them today, and I'm afraid because it's Cox that my phone won't work for more than 3 minutes. But I'm going to get them over here.
Yeah. But this is where you can help your parents, or actually anybody who's not technical, is writing stuff down and then sending it to them. And now you have it on your phone, so you kind of have a little script of what to say.
Yeah, I want to tell you how I use this, because first of all, I got a very good stand. And it's standing up. It looks like a computer. But you can also lie it down when you're drawing or whatever.
Do you have a keyboard too? You
gave me a keyboard. Of course, I have anything you can mention. I've got it. And I just refused a new iPhone. I said, no way.
Yeah, because you want the headphone jack. I understand that. And by the way, your iPhone 6, in my opinion, isn't really old, right? It's not really out of date. It works fine.
Because I can lie in bed at night, put the headphones on, and listen to audiobooks or music, right? Although you just gave me something I shouldn't plug in, I suppose. You just gave me my adorable Echo Show, which is like a little tiny screen that I look at. When I wake up in the morning, I say, I won't say her name because she'll go on. You know who I'm going to say.
Yeah, the A lady, yeah.
Play the news. And then I have favorite music stations. I just lie there in bed, more and more, increasingly. And so you know what? I just really love telling old people about this. I have a bunch of Luddite friends who are scared. They don't have this son I have. I'm so sorry for them. But I want to say that a thing that comes into play is the scale, because before I got the Pro, I was already used to carrying my iPhone around to wait in doctor's offices or to be in contact constantly with texting with my family. I even do Instagram on there because I'm used to the size. So the Pro seems too big to do the word games on. I do word games.
Oh yeah, we play Word with friends, and it's too big. You don't do it on you do it on your phone, huh?
I do it on the phone because I'm used to it. I'm totally used to that. I can hold it in my hand in the doctor's office. You know, I use that a lot. But I want to say
she's
that
beaten me, by the way, in Words with Friends. Drives me nuts.
Oh, you're just saying that. You know.
No, you just played, gosh, like a 50-point word. I'm so mad at you.
She taught you everything you know, Leo.
I know. Now, let me ask you about a couple of other things you do with your technology. One thing is Uber.
Well, I use the phone on Uber.
You were very nervous at first to use Uber, but because you don't drive, and my sister lives nearby, and you don't want to always ask Eva for rides, I put Uber on her phone, and I put my credit card on it. So you've used that. How did that work out for you?
I loved it. However, I haven't used it again, but I have not called the senior service van to get the rides that I usually have. And I have doctor's appointments coming up, and I'm going to use Uber.
Yeah.
What made me nervous was the drivers, because I don't know.
You've heard all the news about Uber drivers, and maybe
in this town, in Providence, I don't know who. I do know that.
There's only about 3 in the whole town. It's not a big Uber town.
Yeah, because you know what?
What? Did you like your driver last time?
Yes, he told me the whole story of how he told me a story the whole ride.
That was okay, right? Do you mind that?
I was surprised. I was prepared not to talk. And nobody can shut me up except a driver who never shuts up. So he told a whole story the whole way. The only thing I found out about him was he was from Boston. Now, here's something I found out, though, about Uber and my social services ride.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
I started quizzing the social services drivers.
Yeah.
And I said, have you ever worked for Uber? And they said, oh, yeah, this pays more. They were interchangeable.
Yeah.
So I stopped being scared of Uber. It's the same damn drivers. I'm sick of all of them.
Another thing I set Mom up with was Foodler.
Oh, you froze. You froze again. It's Cox Cable doing this, I know.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? The other thing I set Mom up with is Foodler, because I wish I could live next to Mom and help Mom, but I can't. I'm far, far away. And so...
Yeah, but news is you're going to visit.
I am going to visit. I told you that, didn't I?
And I've got a waiting list
of things to fix.
Long.
Yeah. I am her tech guy. When I come, I set everything up. We put the Eros in so that she could sit in her studio out in the back and listen to her internet radio. She has a Grace internet radio. You like the internet radio. But tell me, so you are able to order food whenever you want on Foodler, and they come and they bring it to you.
It's heaven. If you have grandchildren, at some point, especially if they're boys, food is what is bringing them to your house.
My nephews, Will and Grady, are high school and college kids. Actually, vice versa. Will's in college and Grady's in high school. And when they were younger, I gave Mom the Xbox, and they came over to play Xbox, right?
And eat paninis, because you gave me a panini machine. So there isn't anything you didn't give me.
Oh. So now, when they kind of come over at lunchtime, right?
Yeah, and they pretend they're not hungry. Oh, yeah. Before, when they were less sophisticated, they'd walk in the door and say, Grandma, can I have a panini? But now they sashay in and they try to sit for 5 minutes on the sofa and talk when they're not looking at their phone, which they're doing anyway. And then they say, oh, could we order out? And then we get into it.
They know you have unlimited Foodler access. But
I love it. I love it.
There are a lot of companies that do this, but I looked when I was out there. We looked at the different ones. Foodler seemed to have the biggest range of Providence restaurants to choose from. So, what kind of food do you get?
Well, I've gone through all the restaurants, and because I don't eat much, anything I order is going to feed me for the next 3 nights. So I judge them on leftovers too, and I have found a mixed Asian restaurant not far from me to die for. And I order, and it's so huge, I really eat a full meal for 3 nights afterwards. So the test is, how is it as a leftover about 2 nights later?
It's really nice that you can not be near your parents, but still have them food, have rides, the kinds of things I would do if I lived next door. And then FaceTime, while it's not as good as me being there in person, it's really nice that we can see each other and we can talk on FaceTime. Is there any other technology, because we're going to have to wrap this up, Mom, is there any other technology that you really prize?
Can I say about the Pro?
Yeah.
That it's on this good stand and I can turn it toward my bed. And PBS streams the shows on there. There's a lot of things going, so it's like a little movie theater too. In fact, I'm very sorry. I have to apologize publicly because I had this feeling that I had to have a computer. And when my laptop was really old, and it was probably doing a Cox number, but I don't know what it was doing anyway. When you last visited, you gave me a MacBook. Guess what? And I'm so ashamed.
What happened?
Because I treat the Pro completely as my computer.
That's what I thought. In fact, I expected that to be the case. Doesn't surprise me.
I would never recommend to any old person to get a MacBook. Don't get a computer. Get an iPad Pro.
There you go. And a keyboard. And a pencil.
Nothing. Yeah. And a keyboard. Yeah. Well, even if you don't want to do a keyboard, which makes it nicer, there's a keyboard on the Pro too.
Yep.
But if you have but it's just like a computer. And so get rid of that stuffy old notion that I had that you have to have a computer, because guess what? You don't. And I'm sorry, honey. Do you want to donate my MacBook to somebody who lost everything in the fire?
Oh, isn't that sweet of you, Mom?
So sweet.
Well, let's talk about that offline, because I'm not sure. I want to make sure you don't need it before you give it up, because I think you still do banking and stuff on it, right?
I bank on there simply to use it.
Oh.
No, I try to use it. But the thing is, I'm in love with this Pro. I love it.
Good.
And you saw it's on a card table, and I have a chair here, and it's set up like a desk.
And it's a nice size. The 12.9 is big enough that it's easy to read and easy to use. In fact, it sounds like it's too big for word games. That's interesting.
Well, only because I had learned, when you're this age, you memorize things. And you're really afloat if it changes. You don't want it to change.
Yeah.
And, of course, the whole world is about change. Everything changes every 2 minutes. That's why I know I want this phone, this 6 Plus. I don't want to change. If it's working, why change it?
Absolutely agree with you. Couldn't agree with you more. Mom, I love you. It's so nice to have you on the show. Thank you.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry to hang up. I want to tell you something.
Yes.
I am stoked that you're going to visit out here. I am thrilled. I am thrilled.
You get what she's doing right now, folks. Yeah. She's making sure that I keep my promise and I go out and visit.
You're not kidding. Hey, where do you think this guy came from? Me. I'm really good at stuff.
Oh, Mom, I love you. You're great. And I will come out very soon. Don't worry. I'll be out there.
Darling.
Now that your toilet works, I can come out.
And Megan, thank you for being quiet all
That's my job. I feel like I should retire and Mary should host this show with you.
She's used to working with me, Mom. She doesn't get a word in edgewise.
It's your show, Megan.
It is her show. Thanks, Mom. I love you.
Thank you,
Mwah.
sweetie.
I'll talk to you soon.
Mwah. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, I'm like, she was so good at explaining everything. I don't know why that surprised me at all, but she's amazing.
Yeah, she's really great. And I think that those are all really important lessons.
Yes.
And listening to your parents or your elders when you give them technology is important. See, I thought she would want a laptop, and she hasn't been honest with me until now. That no, this is what I need is the iPad Pro. She really likes it.
Well, I think you should give it to someone with all of her banking information still on it, then that person could totally.
You probably need a new bank account too to go with your new computer. So give us some other ideas for
maybe we should take a minute to thank Eero. We've already talked about, and then I can talk about.
This is just a coincidence because Eero is a sponsor
we did not plan this at all, but that was amazing.
So one of the reasons I put Eero in Mom's house is because she had. I had given her a traditional 1-unit router, and it didn't really get to like the back yard, the studio out back and things like that. And she was always complaining. So the last time I was out there, we set her up. I put, what's nice about the Eero, you get a base unit, which is that's your main router. That's what's connected to the cable modem or the DSL modem. That's what gets your internet. And then you get, with the base pack, you get that plus 2 extenders. I don't want to call them extenders because Eero is, and they were one of the first to do this, a mesh system. So these 2 extra devices kind of go on the edges, and they spread your Wi-Fi out without slowing it down. If you've ever used a base station plus an extender, the extender cuts speed in half, literally, because it's communicating with the base station. Eero communicates behind the scenes, so it doesn't slow you down. It's easy to install. All you do is use the Eero app on your phone, Android or iOS, and you can set them up. It tells you, and then I can actually check my mom's internet connection on my phone from here, which is really awesome. Let me show you. Well, actually, right now I'm logged into my home Eero, so I'll show you that. But I can log into her Eero, and you see it says everything looks good. I could see the devices that are connected. I could see the different Eeros that are connected. We've got it's a little bright, isn't it? Let me turn the brightness down just a tad so you can see this on my iPhone. Is that a little better? Yeah. So you can see here's the base station. You can see the speed. It will check your internet speed on a regular basis, so you know you get diagnostics. You know exactly what's going on. Plus, Eero gives you some real advantages. I have the new second-generation Eero in Eero beacon systems. The family profiles are fantastic. Everybody in the house, Lisa, my wife, Michael, her son, and I all have profiles. And notice that pause sign next to Michael's? At 10 o'clock at night, this is done automatically. The internet goes off, and he can't get online on his phone or any of his devices. These are the devices, his game machine, his Xbox, his iPad. None of those devices can get online. It's bedtime. And I can even use the Amazon Echo to do that. I could say, Echo, pause Michael's internet, and it's connected to the Eero. It will pause his internet. By the way, he can't unpause it by saying, Echo, unpause. He'd have to log into my phone, which he can't do. So he's also got the safe filters turned on. So safe search, adult content, illegal or criminal content, and violent content, all of that is blocked. This is such a nice device. And you can see how easy it is to use. It doesn't require a lot of technical expertise or fiddling. It's very straightforward. You get guest visitors come by. You can enable a guest network. You can even share that network with them without any risk to having them on your main network. And if you need more, I actually have more than one Eero set up at Mom's. I have, I think, 5 base station plus 4 other Eeros. You can easily add another device and extend the Wi-Fi even farther. More speed, more range, and the same high-quality, elegant design as the original Eero. I am an Eero fan. And with the addition, by the way, and I haven't yet set this up with Mom, but of the new Thread radio, it can connect to low-power devices, locks, doorbells, and other sensors. And what I really want to set up for Mom is kind of an automated home. So it'd be very easy for her from her iPad Pro to say, unlock the door for the, grandkids are here, unlock the door, and on all of that. Expanding your coverage in any room is easy. Just add as many beacons as you want. You plug them into the wall. If there's an outlet, you've got Wi-Fi. I am a fan. They've been doing this since early 2016. They have learned. They get better all the time. For free overnight shipping in the U.S. or Canada, just go to eero.com and check out Select Overnight Shipping. Then enter iOS today to make it free. Do it for yourself, but this is another thing that would be a great thing to do for your elders, your family members, who maybe aren't as technical as you, like Mom. eero.com. Select overnight shipping and use iOS today as the offer code, and that'll make it free. We thank Eero so much, not only for their support of the show, for helping me make Mom's internet a little bit more reliable. Although you can see she's having problems with her internet provider. We're going to get that worked out too.
All right, so these are not Mary tested, these devices that I'm going to talk about. But I got some ideas about what she would want, and I think that these really fit, because what Mary has that no one else in the world has, of course, is you.
Yeah. She gets a lot of donations.
And also help, support, and obviously you have
Absolutely.
a really good relationship, and everyone knows you're really patient with answering people's questions, and not all of us are as patient.
It's so funny because... and Lisa will vouch for this. I'll be talking to Mom, trying to walk her through something and get frustrated, because we do. It's hard. And as she gets older, it's harder for her. Like you notice, I tried to help her get the look at the camera, and she ended up putting her thumb almost on top of it. And that's all right. That's fine. It's not frustrating. But sometimes I have, and I've literally, and Lisa's seen me do this, muted the phone and go, and then unmute and go back.
So let me show you something called GrandPad. It's not an iOS device. It actually runs Android, but you as an iOS user can control it from your iOS device. So Ryan is a viewer, and he saw Jason and I do a segment on tech for seniors. And he wrote into me and he said, a lot of the tech for seniors out there is not really great for seniors. It's a lot of young people working on it. And,
that's right. You really have to listen. And if you don't have elders around you, it's hard to design something that's good for them.
Right. And so Ryan has been working on this project called GrandPad. He was one of the first engineers. And now they have this device. It's a subscription service. And he sent me a review unit. And I checked it out. And I walked through it with one of their the people that actually help the seniors with it.
And they're patient, right?
Yes, super patient. So let's take a look at it. It's this little Asus tablet.
So it's an Android tablet.
It's an Android tablet, and it comes with this case and with this stand that you can use as a stand.
Mom loves her stand.
Yeah, so it's
and the stand that she has does not charge, but this one does, which I think is a great idea.
Yeah, and you can use it. So let's take a look at these. are the contacts that are in here. So
Watch the
there we
player a
go.
little bit, yeah.
Let me get to the main menu back quick.
Oh, that's neat. So that you can, she just taps the picture of the person and it calls them.
So this is basically all it is. You can make phone calls to your friends and family, and you can send emails. You can see photos. You can take pictures. You can read articles, see the weather, listen to some music, play some games, look up some stuff, and get help. And this is all there is. So what they focus, the main thing that GrandPad is focusing on is to keep seniors from becoming isolated and also to keep them safe and secure. So they're not really going to be on the main internet. They're not going to be responding to Nigerian email scams. They're not going to be clicking on links that give them malware. And so it's a subscription service, so you don't actually buy the tablet. The tablet is something that you just borrow while you pay the $65 a month for a whole year, or $75 if you just want to go month to month. And if you lose it or you break it, they just send you a new one. So that's
so you do need to really know your parents or your elder that you're helping, because if I gave that to Mom, she'd throw it at me.
She would.
She's super sharp. She doesn't need to have something that's simple and dumbed down, although I have spent a lot of time kind of helping her understand how stuff works. But she used to use a Windows 2000 for years, Windows 2000 machine. Then I gave her a Mac, and she slowly worked her way up and found the perfect device. A tablet really is the perfect device. But for some elders who really are confused by the whole thing, having a big button like that, make it simple, is a great idea.
This is not for Mary. This is for the person in your life who says, that's too complicated.
Right.
Maybe they've tried an iPad.
Like her friends, her Luddite friends, right?
Yes, they've tried an iPad and they're scared of breaking it. They're scared, it's this, I don't want that. I don't know how it works. I'm afraid. This is someone who just wants to stay connected to their family. And so you have the GrandPad app. What they do is you can set it up beforehand.
So you can kind of help them with your phone.
So you can, if you do this for your, let's see, let me get this. I was taking a picture with that. GrandPad. So you can set it up beforehand. So you set it all up. You add all the contacts and everything. And this is the family feed.
Neat.
So you connect it to your Facebook or your, everyone in the family.
So she's
Facebook.
not on Facebook, but she's getting the photos, which is all they really want.
Yeah,
anyway.
they don't have to.
They don't need all the Russian advertisements.
Exactly. They don't need all that other stuff. They just get everything. So if you can also connect it to Instagram as well. So if you give it to your nieces and nephews who are in high school or college or younger, just let them know if they want to connect that grandma's going to see every picture that that you post. Which is
even if they weren't, I would say
that's a good rule. Your grandma's going to see every picture. Right. So let's take a look at some of the things.
Jay wants to know: is it a long-term contract? Is it month to month? How committed are you to the GrandPad?
If you want to pay for the year, it's $75 a year. I mean, $75 a month.
Okay.
I mean, $65 a month.
Oh, that's if you take a year ahead of time.
But they've said if something, you also get a month free. You can try it for a month for free. If it's not what your parent wants,
I would suggest
then you just send it back.
Right.
And if something happens, what they said when I talked to them is, people's situation changes. They might have dementia and it might get worse. And so it is great for, 6 months. And if you pay for the year, they'll refund.
Yeah, your folks wouldn't need that. They're very technically literate.
They wouldn't.
could easily use an iPad.
But what I love about this is the white glove support. So I talked to them. They said they will talk to your parent every day. They'll talk to your parent once a week.
That's included in the fee.
It's included in that. And what also is included, this is LTE. This is an LTE tablet.
Oh, so they don't have to have internet.
They don't have to have internet in
really
their house.
thing.
They don't have to have a cell phone plan.
Yeah.
That's included. So if you think about, $75
that's a good
month
deal
is
then.
a lot. Yeah,
That's
it's
not
not a
bad
lot
at
if you
all.
don't have a cell phone plan. So you can use this as a phone. If they just have a landline and you want them to have a cell phone, they can bring this with them. They can.
About 10 or 15 years, Mom may be getting that.
Yeah, it's something that you might graduate to. They also they work with gerontologists. So let's say that your parent is suffering from a little dementia. They'll start with just a few games instead of so many games, because that's sometimes they've noticed that.
What are the games on there?
They're good games. There's
Mom loves Words with Friends.
There's solitaire, blackjack, slots, free cell, word scramble. That's similar to Words with Friends.
Oh, that's nice.
A little similar.
And there's an advantage to keeping their minds active as well. So
absolutely.
having them. Yeah, these seem like the kinds of games that elders, Sudoku, crosswords. That's another thing I love to do on my iPad is the New York Times crossword app is a great app. And I know a lot of elders like to do crosswords. I'm an elder. I mean, So I'll be using this in about 5 years.
So, I don't want to offend anyone and say like, oh, everyone over 70 needs this. This is
No,
75 or older, and totally depends on your experience with computers. And
that's the lesson of this, though. And my mom is a really good example. You have to listen to them and give them something that's appropriate to their needs. That may be appropriate. An iPad may be appropriate. Apparently, the laptop that I gave her was not appropriate. That's really valuable information. You got to listen.
Yeah, and so this has worked great. The people working on it are fantastic, and I just love that the support that they really will just talk you through it, and it's so. I mean, the support is right there. Like, it's help, and that's all you need. I'm call with the questions. We could call Tara right now if we wanted.
Yeah.
We could watch training videos that some people don't want to. They want to learn themselves. So here's a video for you.
I'm glad they actually charge enough to make the support workable. Support's very expensive. That's a human that has to be on the phone. And you could easily eat up $65 or $75 a month in support just with a call every week. It wouldn't take that much. Right. So I'm glad that they charge enough to make it a viable business. That is a really great idea. Yeah. There's no security issues because you're not on the open internet.
You're not on the internet. So it's not going to be for everyone, but anyone who is really, any of your friends, family that has just said, no technology, I don't want it. It is a way to stay connected. It's important. And I do like that their focus is keeping seniors from being isolated and also keeping them safe.
One of the things we did with my mom, she mentioned she has an Echo Show. That's the Echo, Amazon Echo with a screen on, about that size screen, a little smaller. No, it's a 7-inch screen. And when I set it up for her, I set it up with a photo album on Amazon Photos. If you have Amazon Photos, you can have photo albums. And I can have actually a photo album that automatically changes on the screen. It's the wallpaper. And so I'll put pictures in the photo album and automatically she's going to start seeing them. Although yesterday she said, how can I go to the default wallpaper? I don't want to see those pictures anymore. So again, listen and don't assume. But I think that's another great way to kind of stay in touch is with a photo frame. You've got another kind of photo frame.
I do have another photo frame. This is called Photo Story, and it's got a stand that charges, but you can also hold it. It's got a low.
I like that because sometimes you do want to pick it up and get closer.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can take a look at it now on my screen. It's just like you've heard of photo frames. You're familiar with them. You can scroll through all the many photos I have of my dog.
Well, I'm sure your mom loves seeing pictures of your dog.
Whoa, I took a lot. So you can also...
And this is updated remotely, automatically?
Yes. It's remotely, or you can control it yourself. You use an app. You use the Photo Story app to send pictures. So if you sent this to your parent, you can actually upload pictures. And then they can organize it themselves. So let's see.
It doesn't look like it's a very good screen, I have to admit. Maybe that's because of the angle. I don't know. It's a little washed out. Maybe I guess that's...
Yeah, I don't know if it's the lighting or not, but you can also do videos on here.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. So I can.
Do they have audio in the video or
they
just?
They do. Let's
oh wow,
see.
That could be annoying. You have to be judicious in your use of that because you don't want every 15 minutes an annoying video to play in Grandpa's living room.
Let's see if I can find any videos here. I don't think I uploaded, but I'll show you how you can upload photos and videos through the app, through the Photo Story app. Let's see, I'm keep calling it Photo Story, but it's really called PhotoSpring. Sorry about that. PhotoSpring. So here's the app, and I can send photos to it. So I just click there, and then I select what photos I want. I'm going to go through my favorites. Here is a video of the snake that I'll send.
How much is it?
That's a great question. It is $100
And is there a monthly subscription?
Nope, there's no monthly subscription.
So you just buy it and it's connected. They'd have to have an internet connection, of course.
Yes, they would have to have an internet connection for this to work.
Although I have to say, so many people do now. And if your folks are in a retirement community or a nursing home, often those places will have their own internet precisely for these kinds of devices.
And I wish I could tell you how much it costs, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I would say the Echo Show is probably a little too pricey just to be a photo frame. But one of the reasons elders like things like the Echo is because they can ask it to play music. They could say, Arabella, play Elvis, and they can listen to music. And so that was the other thing. I made sure Mom understood the few commands that she would want to use, and that she had set up Amazon Unlimited Music in there, so she can hear any music she wants. The speakers on the Echo Show are absolutely good enough, and you heard she likes to listen as well. There's the PhotoSpring, $169.
$169.
Now that's for 32 gigs storage. So if you want more storage, you could pay a little more, or less storage. 16 gigs would be plenty, especially if you're refreshing these on a regular basis. That's 15,000 photos. Seems like
a lot.
A lot. That seems like enough.
Right. And so you can also connect it to your social media account. So your
so it uploads all automatically.
Again,
nice.
don't make sure not to upload any photos that you wouldn't want your grandparent to see.
No.
All right, I have one more app, and Colleen's going to help me with this one. Have you ever been trying to explain to Mary, like, here's the button on the remote, or reach in the back of the refrigerator, and you have to show something?
It can be hard, yeah.
It can be hard.
I will actually do that on FaceTime. I'll say, well, show me that. But she doesn't know where the it took me a long time for her to figure out where the camera is on her iPad. It's hard.
So this app is called Chalk, and it's an AR app.
Oh.
And I think Colleen will be calling me for help any second now. It may be someone. Oh, there she is. So I'm going to answer a call.
I hope it's Colleen. Cross your fingers.
And so Hello. Hi. Okay. Can you share your screen with me, or should I share my screen with you? Okay.
Oh, there we go.
If you had a headphone jack on that iPhone, we could just plug in the audio.
So
people keep telling me, "Oh, it's no big deal that Apple killed the headphone jack."
Well, you have a dongle
it's no big
over there.
deal.
We could.
I do have a dongle.
Okay, so
this was another thing I was going to show. If you do get new iPhones for your parents, please get them the dongle. One comes with the iPhone, but get them more.
Call me back and share your screen so you can ask me what to help with you with. Okay. Hold, please. So we're going to see her screen, and the best thing about it is we'll be able to write on it with our hands and see it. Okay, let's try this again. Waiting to share video. Okay, there. Okay, I can see all your notes.
Right.
And if I wanted to help you find something on the notes, I could. Can you see that?
Oh, that's neat.
Wednesday.
So she's seeing that on her.
So you're seeing
really
that
neat.
on your screen. And then can you show me something on your screen that I want to see? Can you write on your screen?
Yes. Okay. Oh,
there's your son.
there's my son. See right there. My niece.
Oh, neat.
So we saw the circle. Can you write again?
Yeah.
Ah.
Actually, this has application way beyond helping elders use stuff. I mean, think about all the, the presentations and all sorts of stuff. This is great.
So, yeah, it is good. And so the arrows are pointing out that there's something there. And if I say it's here, oh, no, and then I can back up and erase that and cross out all of our
I like that. I'm going to get
notes.
this
And
just for other
it's Chalk.
reasons.
It's free.
Chalk.
And I can mute the audio if I want. And I can write all over the place. Chalk by Vuforia. Thank you, Colleen.
That's the see they do have it, think of it as a helping thing, but for presentations and other stuff, this could be very useful. Solve it together, connect with a friend to solve a problem. I really like this.
Well,
this is a good use of AR.
I absolutely think it's a great use, and it works a little bit faster on my iPhone 8 than it did on Colleen's 6, or I guess she has the 7. So your mileage may vary depending on the processor in your iPhone.
So just so you know, it's on the App Store. It's always hard to find apps on the App Store. It's listed as Vuforia Chalk.
That's
the company. Because there's other chalks that look kind of like the same. Maybe it's the same thing. No, Vuforia Chalk. It doesn't have in-app purchases. It's just free.
No, it's just free. I mean, they must be trying to figure out something using it.
How to make money might be the first thing to figure out.
Like when you're talking about presentations, that is.
I think of a lot of good uses.
Yeah,
for
probably
that.
There's an enterprise.
When everybody was so excited, remember Robert Scoble saying, "Oh, the new iPhone's going to transform augmented reality. It's going to be a watershed," and do you notice like, oh, a magic no. And even most of the apps, and I've gone through the AR app store, are very, the IKEA app, you use that once. No, but this one is the first one I've seen that actually makes a lot of sense.
Right. So you're explaining things to your parents. Colleen used it for her son because he was trying to find like where the pickles were in the refrigerator. It's like
so he shows her the refrigerator. Oh my God, Lisa, I can never find anything in the refrigerator. Oh my, Lisa, get chalk. Then you can show me where the pickles are. Oh,
I don't think.
I think sometimes Lisa thinks of me as her elder. It's right there, Leo. It's right in the back, but I could. She says, "Do you actually look, or just look at the surface?" And then,
well, it's great for like people who are staying in your house, like the buttons on the remote, all those things. So,
perfect.
Yeah, chalk.
I will use this all the time.
And somebody asked if it's on Android. I don't know if it is.
Who cares?
Well,
I bet it's not. You know why? Because it's kind of made for the augmented reality features of the iPhone. It probably uses ARKit.
It only is available in the App Store, the Apple
What
App
a
Store.
surprise! Chalk, and now you know what's great. There's an iPad version of it too, because I installed it on my iPhone and it showed up immediately on my iPad. That's even better because it's a big. That's a big puppy, so you can I can see everything in the refrigerator. Oh, this is going to save my life. John, I could use this with you if I can't figure out how to get my drone to work. I just send you this. You do have to have an account. Not sure why.
I don't know. They're recording your home, I guess, and everything you do in it. I don't know.
CHALK.VUFORIA.com for more information. Chalk. I love it.
All right, we have some news. Most important news: new emoji coming. New emoji coming
in 11.1, right?
Yes.
So that means I should have it because I'm on the beta.
Oh, you are?
I believe so. Yeah, I have 11.1. So let's open, I guess, Notepad. Right? Would be the easiest way to do this. And then
it's the second beta.
I'll create a new note
of 11.1.
And then go to the. So what do we got here?
Well,
I love the new clown emoji. That's always fun.
That's not new, though. I wonder. So you're sure you're running the beta?
I'm running 11.1.
Oh. Do you see broccoli?
Broccoli? Who wants broccoli?
Scarf.
Is that broccoli or just a tree?
That's a tree.
A tree. A scarf?
Yeah, there's a mermaid of color.
I got a croissant. That's been around. Pizza, French fries, bacon. Maybe I don't, I have 11.1, but this is the public beta 11.1, so maybe.
Oh, no, this is the developer beta. So, but John, we have, Kevin put a link in there
I have Centauri.
All the emoji. The curling.
Curling's here.
I'm totally going to use curling.
Wizard.
I want to make the curling emoji into something else. Like I want it to mean just a secret.
That's, by the way, really the secret of emoji is, there aren't emojis for every occasion, but you can adapt them often. Look at that grasshopper. There's a little too realistic. There's the dumpling.
They are very
realistic. That's scary. I don't want to see that on my screen. I like the hedgehog. Broccoli.
Was that a hedgehog
or a porcupine? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Can you tell the difference?
No, I can't. Certainly not emoji.
There's a
woman in the steam room.
I was trying to figure out what that is. That's a woman in a steam room. You know what? The other day I was trying to send a picture of a foot. There's no foot emoji. There's hands. There's noses.
There's footprints.
Are there footprints? Oh yeah, footprints would work. I could do that. That's
Should I
almost
ask
as
why
good.
you were trying to send a foot emoji? Probably not. Probably not.
You don't really want to know. Trust me.
So
but
I'm looking
bacon
forward to
plus foot.
Also, a lot
equals googly eyes.
Gender-neutral people. That is also coming as well.
What would a gender-neutral person look like?
I think that link also.
Because a lot of these are kind of genderless.
Short hair, I think, is what they look like. An emoji. Okay. Apple Maps has flyover now. Do you know what flyover is?
Is that the states in between the West Coast and the East Coast?
I'm going to show you. It's little tours. I will show you on. Do you want to go New York City, Half Dome, San Francisco? Neat. What do you want to fly over?
Yeah, let's go over Half Dome. I love Half Dome.
So here is the flyover, and then
whoa,
we're taking
that was
a tour.
scary.
Shall we start the tour of Half Dome?
Yeah.
There we go. Loading. So we can either take the guided tour, or we can.
Apple was. We had heard this a couple of years ago, going to fly small planes over cities and other objects to get this kind of detail.
It's pretty cool.
That's really neat.
Now we don't have to actually hike Half Dome ourselves.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Let's look also in San Francisco.
Let's get some city stuff.
San Francisco or New York? What do you think?
Oh, I don't know.
Let's do San Francisco. So,
this is in Apple Maps.
This is Apple Maps, and it's really taking advantage of the processor.
Boy, is that detailed. So you would really want to do this on a new iPad
or the iPhone. You just say that we don't really need all the processor, but I mean, if we want to really just stay in our houses all the time and actually, this isn't working as I would like it to. There we go. There's the Golden Gate Bridge, and we can fly over it, or we can scoot in close if we want, or real close. So flyover. This is in Apple Maps. Apple Maps is getting better, a lot better.
It's funny because I use the Apple Watch. When we were in France, I was using maps to navigate. So we would get to a place and we would have to meet back at the bus, in an hour. So as we got off the bus, I would open Apple Maps, drop a pin, very easy to do on Apple Maps, and then we'd wander around. And then I would use also the watch. I would say, remind me, we've got to get back to the bus at 11:50. And so the reminder would go off. And then I could use maps on my watch to say, navigate me back. And the watch goes, bzz, buzzes you as you have to make left or right turns. I found that immensely convenient. Now, of course, you could do something similar with Google, but not with the watch. And not with the watch directions, which I really liked. Because then I'm not standing. I really didn't want to be the tourist looking at their phone the whole time and saying, where are we? Because first of all, I feel dopey, but also it's kind of a red flag for somebody to rob you. It's like, oh yeah, there's a clueless noob. So it was nice to just have the watch, and every once in a while I could look at it, see if I'm on the right direction. That really helped. Here's New York City on a flyover. Wow, that is stunning. It's similar. I mean, Bing Maps has had 3D. Google Maps has had 3D. This feels like, though, there's a lot of detail. I think they really did. You can actually go on the roof of some of these buildings. I think they actually did fly airplanes over. It gets a little expressionistic if you get too close. Look, let's check out the Tribeca dog run. Wow. That's pretty amazing. Take a tour in New York City. This must be the West Side Highway. Look at that. Isn't that cool?
I love Apple Maps on my watch, too, for driving, especially because you don't have to have your phone in front of you. It notifies you when you need to make a turn, which is much safer.
Here's the High Line. Dick DiBartolo's having an event. Look at this.
There he is.
There he is.
No people in there, sadly. This is like the world without people.
How long do you think it'll be before this becomes a live image? I guess never, right?
I don't know.
Because of privacy concerns and there'd be a lot of technology. But boy, wouldn't it be fun to actually be seeing what's going on right now?
Yeah.
People walking around. I guess privacy would be an issue.
I guess so. But I don't know. Privacy's kind of over, don't you think?
Yeah. Let's get rid of privacy so we can do that.
Yeah, so we can really see what people are doing.
Well, for instance, we're trying to figure out, are we safe from the fires yesterday, right? And I was really disappointed with technology's ability to let us know what was going on.
Yes.
The maps, there were maps, GIS maps and so forth, but they were out of date. Went to the Cal Fire. That's their job, to keep us up to date. They were out of date. If we'd had live aerial views of the area, we could say, there's the fire. And of course, there's a little looky-looism too. You could say, wow, look at that. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, though.
I don't know either. I mean, for sure, flyover doesn't exist everywhere. Like, we can't fly over Petaluma.
Well, the military has that. When they do drone strikes, they have live views.
But I totally agree with you because when a fire is coming your direction,
You
and
want to
don't
know where
you
it
have
is
a lot of
now,
anxiety.
not this morning.
Yes. And yeah, we didn't because we don't have live TV, so we didn't really know where to look. Like everything was.
We had live TV. It was no better because
Yeah.
they were showing the same pictures over and over and over again because they have the same information gap that we have. And I understand why the firefighters are very busy trying to. In fact, they weren't even fighting the fire. I think they've maybe started now. They were getting people to safety first. And so they have a lot to do. And updating that is not the #1 priority. But that's why it'd be fun. It'd be cool. It'd be useful if we had some sort of technology. It doesn't have to be too detailed, but they could give us an idea of what's going on.
You also really see the limits of social media in a situation
Yeah.
like this because there was a lot of fake news just among my group of friends, and not on purpose, but just a lot of because of the anxiety is heightened. It's like, oh well, this place burned down, all these people's animals, were burned, and then next day it's like, oh well, that's not true. That was
You know what I used actually? It was very helpful. Is Nextdoor?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Nextdoor? It's a social network for your neighborhood. So I put it right on the front page and kept an eye on it because I wanted to know, and it was fairly helpful, especially in terms of information for fire victims. I'm home safe, offers of shelter, and I was browsing it and it said the evacuation center needs pillows, blankets, baby supplies. So we immediately loaded up the car and drove over with that stuff. And I think that's the kind of thing, this is what social media is great for. I recently deleted Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter from my phone. I found myself doing it too much in the middle of the night. But now I've promoted Nextdoor, at least during this crisis, because it is very useful to know what's going on right in your neighborhood.
Yeah, I had also deleted Facebook from my phone, and then I had to re-up it because that's how I was getting, re-download it on my phone because that's how I was getting all the messages, and especially about who, at this point, we're not in danger, so it's more like this shelter needs diapers, this shelter needs dog food,
really
this
useful.
shelter needs, this and that. And so, I'll put it back off of my phone. Speaking of addiction to phone, which you and I just both admitted that we have to control our own, do it ourselves.
But you can.
Adults
You have the control. You delete it.
You take it off your phone. You don't have to, you don't have to delete your account. You just take them off your phone.
Yeah.
Johnny Ive was talking about at the New Yorker Tech Festival. He was interviewed, and they asked him, how do you feel about being part of, the invention of the iPhone? And he said, well, I like it, except for when I think about how people misuse it. And David Remnick, I think, was interviewing him, said, well, how do people misuse the iPhone? And he said, using it all the time.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting that Johnny Ive would admit that. This beautiful design is what's, helping us be more, less connected to the world. And I think everybody is really realizing that this is a problem. And I think Apple's dealing with it too. Even Johnny Ive said, well, I use that's why I have an Apple Watch, because then I'm not so connected to my iPhone.
He had to make it a plug for a different Apple product.
But I think that it's not that great of press for Apple. I know we talk about great apps. We promote all these ways of using your iPhone more and more and more. But you and I even know that it can be a problem.
In families, it really is. You see people, you just go to a restaurant and the whole family's sitting looking at their phone. They're not talking to one another. I think Apple, I saw statistics. I was just trying to find it, and I think they said something like the average person looks at their phone 80 times a day. That's a lot. That's given that you have 18 hours awake. That's 5 or 6 times, or 4 or 5 times an hour. And that sounds right? Yeah. And the thing is, it's not just pick it up and put it down. That's 10 minutes gone right there. So that was one thing both of us, interestingly, did recently to control our use, is eliminate some of those addictive things that kind of pull us back into it all the time.
The temptation. Just, it's like we don't buy donuts and stick them in the, our cabinets. We don't.
Another great thing is do not disturb.
Yes.
And especially do not disturb while driving.
Right.
So I encourage everybody, please turn that on, not just for your teenagers, but for you. Because when that ping goes off here, it's really hard not to go, oh, what's that? And so having a do not disturb while driving means you won't be notified during driving. A text will be sent if somebody tries to text you saying, I'm driving, I'll text you back when I get to my destination. You do still get calls. Lisa and I were talking about that. She said, well, I want to get calls because I have hands-free. No, you still get calls. And then I have do not disturb turned on both these devices now because I don't want them to ping me during the show. But use that liberally. Set a schedule. I've set the do not disturb schedule now from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. so that my phone will not ping me, will not buzz me. I turn off everything, no phone calls even, from 9 p.m. because I'm not in bed yet, but I don't want to. I want to have quiet time.
Did
That's
you learn
half
that
the day.
in my digital cleanse
I
series?
did, actually.
Hashtag digital cleanse.
Hashtag digital cleanse.
We're not done. I know you're getting tired of it. We got 4 more weeks.
We have episode 6.
Yep.
It's going to be a 10-part series. It's on the new screensavers. If you didn't see this past Saturday's episode, it's really important. It's cleaning up your passwords. But all of this has been useful, except I'm never going to do zero inbox. I can't do that.
That's okay. You don't have to do it all. Just because you can't do everything doesn't mean you should
But
do
do
nothing.
not disturb. That was a great tip. And having that for 12 hours a day, that means that's 12 hours of peace.
The other thing I wanted to show you, have you ever checked your battery percentage and seen how often you are on?
It will give you, it will snitch on you.
Yeah, 6 hours on Twitter.
Isn't that depressing?
I spent in the last 7 days. 4.1 hours on messages, 1.8 hours on the phone, 15 minutes on photos, 42 minutes on the camera. Wow, that's a lot of pictures I've taken. You know, it's
so that's a good thing to do. Maybe make a pact with your significant other to say, okay, every Saturday, let's take a look.
Yeah,
and there's no punishment, but just so I spent reading Reddit in a week, 1.7 hours, but that's for work. Twitter, 1.1 hours, so a lot less than you.
You beat me on Twitter. That's probably because I still have Twitter on my phone, and you do not.
Actually, I ended up, after the fire, putting it back.
Yeah, that's
because there are certain things that you, and maybe I'll take it off again.
Yeah, let's take it off.
I don't find Twitter quite as compelling as Facebook. I'll spend more time on Facebook with less value. Twitter does not, but notice Facebook isn't on this list because, yeah, I deleted it. Downpour, that's my audiobooks. This is on screen time, 3.1 hours background. Hangouts. So, yeah, this is a very good thing to do. You don't get the time unless you click the little time icon there. And you have the choice between last 24 hours. And see, Twitter pops up last 24 hours. I spent a lot of time paying attention to Twitter over the last 24 hours, last 7 days. So that is real. I agree. That is a very sobering thing to take a look at.
And it's like, you know, some families like all have pedometers and they compare their steps. Like my family, we're going to be comparing how much time did you spend?
Sit down with the teenagers. Not to punish them, just to surface it. Because it's unconscious.
You can punish them.
Punish the hell out of them. No. Why am I spending 2.9 hours on my home and lock screen? Am I just looking at the... I don't understand that. Why is that so high?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're just like pretending to work when you're just staring into space. All right. So we have time for one question before app caps. And this is a sad one. I hope you have the answer, but I'm afraid we don't. Mike wrote in. He said, my granddaughter passed away recently. She had an iPhone 6 and it's locked and I don't know the password. What can I do?
Nothing.
That's what
Apple
I was
won't help you
was.
either. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's terrible news. I do think, and I get this call from time to time, that's an occasion for those of us still with a living to maybe have some sort of escrow system for our passwords and our login screens. I give Lisa a fingerprint on my phone because if something did happen to you, and you never know, right? Think about what it would be for your loved ones if they couldn't access those accounts. And Facebook and Twitter is one thing, but your financials, all of those things could be very important. I guess, you know, there's nothing you can do. The FBI knows how to do it, but I think they only use it in judicious circumstances. There are apparently, with older iPhones, hacks. Apple won't help you, though. That's the key. Apple will not help you.
What if you're backed up to iCloud? Will they help you then?
So this is what the Apple people told us, the FBI during the San Bernardino, when they were trying to get into the San Bernardino phone. they said we can get into iCloud. Apple can get into iCloud. And if you had just taken the phone and gone back to the residence, let it join the Wi-Fi, if the bad guy had an iCloud backup set up, it would have backed up and you would have had the contents of the phone because we would give that to you. But that was with a lawful order from law enforcement, not just because Grandpa calls and says, please. So again, I don't think it would help you, our grandfather, but it is important, though, to understand law enforcement does have access to your iCloud contents.
Yeah, I have a fingerprint on all my kids' phones, who have fingerprint. One of them has a non-fingerprint reader, but that's not good enough if it's shut down for a long time. You also need to know their password.
You need to know their passcode. Somebody in the chat room, Eric, saying Apple should help you with a certified copy of a death certificate. I don't believe that's the case because Apple isn't going to make a presumption that your granddaughter didn't want privacy. So the fact that she's passed is not the problem. You know, they're not going to let you have access to anybody's phone because the presumption is, well, where's the permission? And you know, we're not going to give you access to something like that. So I don't think in this case, if you could demonstrate maybe some sort of urgent emergency need, perhaps, but I don't. You know, Apple wouldn't give it to the FBI. I don't think they're going to give it to you.
And so, what do you do with a phone at that point? Like, can you sell it or can you?
Oh, well, that's a different matter. You're right, because Apple has an activation lock, and the idea was to prevent iPhone theft. It did really reduce iPhone theft. You can't reuse a watch or a phone or an iPad unless the original owner kind of deactivates it and erases it. Very important tip, by the way, if you're giving away any of your Apple devices, to go in there and erase it. And it will ask you for your iCloud password, your Apple account password, before it will do that. And that's the activation lock. So her phone can't even be erased and reused unless you know her password. But if in that case, I think you could probably bring it to Apple, the Apple Store. What they're going to want is proof of ownership. So because again, they're trying to prevent theft. So if you had a receipt for that phone, and you could say, well, you know. I bought this for my granddaughter. She's passed away. We'd like to, you know, give it to somebody. Apple will unlock it, but you have to prove that you own it, and you won't be able to see the contents. In the unlock process, it will be erased, and there's nothing they can do about that.
And I think I think I respect having my privacy even after.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, I understand your desire to look into it, and maybe there is stuff you need to know in there, but yeah, I think it's better to err on the side of privacy. Now, there are mechanisms for sharing this information. We've talked about LastPass's emergency access. 1Password has something similar. You can delegate a emergency access person, and this is what I do, by the way, and this includes my iPhone passphrase. I put everything in my LastPass, and then I delegate emergency access to a number of people, to my daughter and to my wife. And then if I were to pass away, the way that would work is Abby or Lisa could then request access through LastPass. Say, well, Leo's passed away, so we'd like to get his access to his LastPass account, because I put everything in there, everything they would need to know, Social Security numbers, phone unlocks, of course, all the banking accounts, it's all in there. Then what would happen is interesting, and this is the way LastPass does it, is they would send an email to my email account saying, Lisa's asked for your access to your LastPass account. Is this okay with you? And you set a time frame from 1 day to multiple weeks. If you don't respond to that email, they give Lisa access. It's I hate to use the phrase, but it's a dead man switch in reverse. If you don't have to give her permission. You can't. You've passed on, but if you don't revoke permission within the time frame you set, then she does have access to it. Please use that. Everybody should use that. It's another reason to use. You recommended a password manager in your digital cleanse. So we like LastPass or 1Password. It's another good reason to use that, is to set that up with loved ones or your attorney or somebody you trust so that they can get access to your accounts. That's all you really have to do, right?
On to happier topic. It's mortgages, getting a mortgage.
This could be a very happy transition in your life. It's the biggest purchase you make, right? You buy your house. Probably most of you aren't writing a check or digging the cash out of your backyard. You're probably getting a home loan. So can I make a recommendation? Go to the best home lender in the country, Rocket mortgage from Quicken Loans. Quicken Loans, not only one of the biggest, they are one of the best, and you see all those J.D. Power Customer Satisfaction Awards, #1 year after year for loan approval process and for mortgage servicing. They're really good. And I like them extra good because they've done Rocket Mortgage, which is for people like us who want to do everything online. You no longer have to go to the bank to get a home loan or a mortgage officer. You just go online to rocketmortgage.com/iOS today. It's very simple. You answer a couple of questions. They ask your permission to access your financial records. You don't have to go get those financial records. They have partnerships with all the financial institutions. So once you give permission, they get the information you need. And then, literally, it's computerized. It's fast. Within seconds, based on your income, your assets, your credit, they analyze all the home loan options for which you qualify, and they find the run that's right for you. You can pick the term. You can pick the rate. They have a broad variety of loans in 30 and 15-year loans. In fact, they're really recommending 15-year loans these days. Quicken Loans has created the best way to get a new home or to refinance your existing home. It's simple. You apply simply. You understand every point, at every point what's going on. You understand fully. It is as fast as it can be because it's completely online, completely computerized, and then you mortgage with confidence because you know exactly what's going on. I love it. Rocketmortgage.com/iOS today. They're an equal housing lender, of course, licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030. You may not be buying a house right now, but what I would do is go into Safari or go into your browser and make a bookmark or put it in your notes, rocketmortgage.com/iOS today, because when the time comes, let's say you're at an open house and you say, oh, let's buy it. Have you ever done that? I bet you have. You go to an open house and you go, oh, this is good. Let's get it. In fact, I have to stop going to open houses because I always go, this is not, this is better than my house. I want this house, right? But now you can actually get the loan right there at the open house. Rocketmortgage.com/iOS today. We thank them so much for making iOS today possible. Is it time to put on a funny hat?
So I don't know which
one would you like? I'm going to put this one on.
Okay. This one?
No.
Okay.
This one.
This is the one I wanted. Good.
That's what I thought, because you don't really look like a hard hat type.
No, I'm not.
I'm ready to go to the job site.
Yes, let's do it.
I look like a developer because I'm wearing a jacket and a hard hat.
Yeah, or like you're like in the mafia and you've just come
What is this, sprayed with blood? What have you guys been doing in this?
I don't know.
I don't know if this is for construction. This might be for a butcher shop. I don't know what. Seriously, what is that on there?
It does look like blood. Maybe it was a Halloween costume. Don't lick it. Let's hope it was someone's Halloween costume. So we are
wearing... It's not chocolate. I'm going to say that.
Oh.
Why are we wearing weird hats?
We're wearing weird hats because it's app cap time. It's app cap time. It's
app cap time.
It's app cap time
in the USA.
We wear hats because it rhymes. It's another word for cap. Cap rhymes with app. This is our favorite app.
You know, it's not my favorite explaining each week why we wear silly hats.
Fine, let's not explain it.
Let's just do it.
Okay, do it. My favorite app of the week is called KidsTube. Now, it's by Magic Bee. You and I, Leo, no longer have children that we have to be frightened about on YouTube.
I do.
I mean, we can still be frightened, but there's nothing we can do about it really anymore.
Oh, I'm frightened.
This is for littles. And it lets you use YouTube and not get lost and also be interactive. So let's tap to start. And we can scroll through. We can listen to songs. We can do learning, cartoons, stories. Let's do learning. And now we're going to just watch a chosen
So this YouTube. Is not... Oh, it is from YouTube.
It is from YouTube. Yeah, it's just
we're going
picked.
to learn the alphabets.
Curated.
I need to know this.
We need to find. Let's go and find A.
And if I love this video so much, I can heart it and favorite it for later. And then what's going to happen after 3 minutes, which we probably don't have to wait, it's going to start asking me questions about the video. And that's part of KidsTube. That's part of the app. So they'll ask me questions and then I can answer it. So what their idea is that the experience is more interactive. It's
so
not
they
just,
vetted videos and created questions quizzes to go with it.
Right. So it's not just like, that's what I get frustrated even today with my kids in YouTube. I'm like, play Minecraft. Like, play something else. Don't just like watch a video.
I'd really like to know what the questions are. This is for such little kids.
It is. So
what could it ask them?
There's
Are they text-based? Or
yeah,
are they...
it basically says like what,
Maybe this is lapware for a 3-year-old more, like
3 or 4
you do it
5,
with mom and dad.
6. Well, I don't know.
What age do you learn your letters? I guess you're right. I guess kindergarten.
Right. You put in your age so it you can do the videos based on your age. Maybe we can watch a little bit, John, of the video that is in the link there because it'll show what the questions are. Do you have that link?
Yeah. Are they? They're not verbal. They're written.
No, they're verbal.
Oh, okay. Look, the train has all the letters. Yeah. Pretty soon, it's going to spell Google.
It's not going to spell Google.
Brought to you by the letter G.
We don't have time to wait for 3 minutes, so I'll just show you that.
I know. I got to get on the job site.
Oh, there it is. Here we go. What color is letter C? What color is letter C?
What? Queen.
Well done.
Well done. Well done.
So this is probably, I don't know, for a 4-year-old, 3-year-old?
Yeah, I guess. Oh.
So I guess.
Oh, so that was the end of the letter? I only get the first 4.
I skipped the video, so that's
skipped.
why it asks.
Okay.
Let's just see if it'll ask us another
There's
question.
going to be a lot of kids that know A, B, C, D, and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they were showing, Michael, in high school yesterday? The 1957 Bell science videos from...
Oh, really?
Yes, on cosmic rays. You know, it was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. We watched it at home. I airplayed it to the TV.
Oh.
Yeah, from YouTube. Yeah. It featured Edgar Allan Poe, Fyodor Dostoevsky, and Charles Dickens talking about cosmic rays.
So if you struggle with letting your kids play on YouTube and not sitting over them watching so you can get some work done
This
or
kind
watch
of makes
the
it a little
dishes,
more educational.
It's a little more educational, a little more interactive, and a little more controlled rather than being able to... I mean, YouTube has safe search, but it doesn't always work. It's based on an algorithm. This is people choosing this. So this is Magic Bee. They have a light version, which is free, and then they have a $4.99 version.
Now, yours is so sickly sweet. I want to do the Family Guy.
You should do the Family Guy. Yeah. Because this shows...
I'll do 2.
This really tells us about
the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do 2. I'll do Android first. And the reason I was so excited about this is I have been dying for a sequel to Lode Runner, Lode Runner belongs on the iPad. Now, unfortunately, this is a iPhone game, so I have to say, really play this on the iPhone. And one of the things that disappoints me, one of the reasons I wanted Lode Runner, remember the plot of Lode Runner, you're this guy wandering through this universe, and you have to use tools like digging and parachutes and all sorts of things to survive. And one of the things I thought Lode Runner would be so great is because it could be a great touch interface. Unfortunately, in this version, the interface is not really ideal for touch. You see, I'm pushing arrows on the sides of the screens. It'd be so much better if I could touch it. So now I've oh no, here, oh, it's a bad guy. I got bit. So now I might have to use my TNT for this one. Just if you've never played Lode Runner, this is a great game, and you'll see why TNT is so useful. Okay, I'm gonna reappear. Where did I appear? Where am I? Oh, here I am. Watch. Oh, you got to dig a hole before that guy gets you. So let me do it one more time. This is why I hate the interface, because it's so unnatural. If you had a game controller, and maybe it would work with a game controller. Now watch. Oh, I got the hole, but it blew me up. One more time? Okay. One more time. So I'm going to merge here. Okay. Now, don't fall in that hole. I don't know what happened here. You get the idea.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I was never a huge fan of Lode Runner.
Oh, I love Lode Runner so much. All right. Well, maybe you'd prefer to do more drinking.
Yes.
So let me show you another game. This is really totally inappropriate, but it's a lot of fun. If you don't like The Family Guy, you won't like this. But I love The Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane's irreverent television cartoon comedy featuring a talking dog and crazy family. This one involves a lot of drinking. Quahog, they live in Quahog, Rhode Island. Another reason I like it, it is a thirsty town. So this is kind of like Bejeweled. We're going to reorganize things. And the idea is you're trying to make beverages for these guys and serve them. And the reason this is highly inappropriate is because if they drink enough, they're going to pass out drunk. And so I find that satisfying. There goes Peter. All right. Let's see. Oh, freaking sweet. Giggity. Oh, boy. They're all gone. Oh. And then you get some very fun.
Who's that?
That's, I can't remember her name.
Faye. May?
Meg.
Meg.
That's Meg.
That's Meg.
That's Meg.
Me.
That's you. You're a day drunk dynamo. So there's lots of animations, characters from the show. Brian, Stewie. Stewie's maybe one of the greatest cartoon characters ever created.
I am a fan of Stewie's the dog, right?
No.
Oh, the
Brian's
baby.
the dog. You would like Brian. Stewie's the baby.
Stewie's the baby.
Stewie's the baby. It's always trying to kill his mother.
Oh.
But this is it's a very simple game. I'm a sucker for the games that have characters that I like from TV. And this game gets a little bit harder and harder as it goes. It's kind of fun.
As they build up their tolerance?
Yes.
Do they ever throw up or do they just pass out?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. They may well. So there's two games for you. If you're a fan of the Lode Runner style game.
I gotta say, I think you won me over on the Family Guy.
It's kind of fun. It's got all the characters in it.
It's Halloween themed.
Well, okay, this is going to have in-app purchases, which means I don't know what I do with this, which means that it's going to probably stop at some point being fun, and I'm going to have to give them some money.
Okay, Alex C. in the chat room says that Stewie has not tried to kill his mother for at least 5 years.
Oh, really? Stewie gave that up, huh? He builds time machines. He's a super smart baby.
And he's still a baby.
Yeah, but he's still a baby. Never gets older. And Brian, the dog, is kind of interesting. He and Stewie have an amazing relationship. They're my favorite characters in the whole thing.
You should totally share that on Facebook.
I should. I really should. So far, they haven't asked me for money, but there it is. This is. There are other Family Guy games, but this is the new Family Guy game, and it's free until they start asking for money. Don't look at what he's fantasizing about right now. See, it's not really appropriate for. See what I'm saying? It's not really appropriate for young people, except
me.
That's exactly who it's for. Wait a minute, Peter. If you're out of here drinking with us, who's manning the truck? See, Peter got a bar truck. Oh, Dad, I wasn't going to spend all my time serving you guys without wetting my own whistle, so I let Jesus take the wheel. What the hell does that even mean? Hey, somebody call me. You see, it's totally irreverent.
Yes.
Okay, get the idea?
Yes.
This is only for people who don't mind total irreverence and the Family Guy sense of humor. And it's fun.
I feel a bit like the show deteriorated since Mary came on, but I really...
Thank God Mom's gone. She won't see my shame, my secret shame.
And I really think I might retire and just have Mary co-host the show.
Isn't she great?
She is amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mom, for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank
she
you.
watches the show, so she's happy to be on, except she doesn't know who you are. She watches this half of the screen.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Twit.tv/iOS to subscribe. Send a video of yourself. Just send it to Megan at twit.tv. We also have an iOS Today email, but that's full of spam. So just a lot of people
really?
a lot of people just review my product, review my Android app, and it's like review my
you don't really
Android
understand
app.
how this works, do you?
So Megan at twit.tv, that gets right to me. I want to see your videos. We want to see your faces. We want to answer your questions.
And if you're my mom and you want to listen to your son on your Echo, you can do that. Just say, Echo, listen to iOS Today on TuneIn. You can listen to us do it live every, what is this? Tuesday 9 a.m.-ish, because I'm always late. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern time. That would be 1700 UTC, at least for the next couple of weeks. And then we're going to leave our summertime, and that'll be really complicated. I'll have to do a lot of math. If you want to listen live on your Echo, you just go Echo, listen to Twit Live on TuneIn, and it'll start playing for you. Unfortunately, they took the video part out. They disabled the YouTube integration. Amazon and Google seem to be fighting.
And they never even announced a Google Home with a screen. That's what I thought they were going to do, and they did.
Maybe you think that was what it was all about?
Well, that's what I thought.
I
but
think
then
they just did a
didn't announce
battle to the death, and they just hate each other, and it's bad for us, but that's life. If you want to watch live on our website, twit.tv/live also works. And if you are watching live and you have a browser near you, go to irc.twit.tv. You can join us in the chat room. We love having you there.
And don't forget to remind Leo to visit his mom.
Don't forget to remind me that I have to make a trip to Cranston, Rhode Island. What I have to do is I fly out after the shows on Wednesday on a red eye, and I fly to Boston's Logan Airport. I rent a car. I drive to Rhode Island. I haven't done it in a while because Mom said, "Don't come. My toilets aren't working." I'm not kidding, but she's miraculously they're now working. So, and maybe it has something to do with his hard hat. I can now stay at her house. So I'll drive to her house. I'll spend Thursday night, Friday, and then I'll fly back Friday evening for the Saturday show. I could do that.
Or an alternate idea is after your Sunday show, you fly out. Then you have all Monday, and then Tuesday you do the show with Mary because
I do it there.
Then maybe she sits in on MacBreak Weekly, or I am happy to host MacBreak Weekly, and
we'll work it out.
Security Now. I love Steve Gibson. I'll do that, and I just yes, anyway. That's it. Subscribe.
Thanks for joining us.
iOS.
We'll see you next
Thank
time.
you.
I'm not throwing this hat on iOS today. All right, I'll throw it. Watch out.